doing?
For the longest time, like I've been an artist for like 15 years now, more or less full time, in different avenues. And for that entire time, I've been obsessed with nostalgia and pop culture and stuff like that. And I found a lot of my art was directed towards fan art. You know what I mean? Like doing my style, doing a completely different style, but doing it homages to all the things that I love, nostalgic wise. And that was amazing, and it's awesome, and it just grows the power of the thing that you're referencing, right? But along the way, I was like, I need to create my own character. Like, it's all good to do fan art and reference other things, but at some point, I need to do what they did so other people can reference my character. You know, that would be a dream. But like, I needed to shift that power in a way, take everything that I loved and turn it into something, into a style, and then create a character that is now an original content character and like a mascot for Limit Break or whatever you want to call it. And that's how Tofu's birth kind of came about. And I never really had that opportunity in any of my other art endeavors. Well, I maybe did, but I never got around to it until, lo and behold, Phantom and NFTs and all those wonderful things. And I'm sure, like yourself and like many other people, when you come into the space of NFTs, you get hit with it like a ton of bricks. And I realized on a creative level, the possibilities are infinite. I can tell stories, and I can tell stories with words, visually, like with audio. And then the next thing that really fucking got me going is I can tell these stories in a meta way, not just metaverse, like, you know, that all that shit, but in a meta way, like meta ideas. And that's the shit that really gets me going. Like, I love sci-fi and fantasy and all these kind of crazy kind of ideas about characters and worlds and dimensions and stuff. So yeah, that was the main inspiration behind doing Tofu. I was like, I want to create my own character, and I want that character not only to be a 2D, hey, this is what this character looks like. I want it to be an interactive experience within the space, and Phantom has allowed me to do that. So Tofu is out there in the metaverse causing a ruckus. I'm referencing Tofu in my personal NFTs. Like, you watch Tofu's adventures through the Neon Dimensions, and so I do tributes. Upcoming tribute to Tinfoil, tribute to Pocket Pals, tribute to this, tribute to that, tribute to Riot Ghouls I did a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So that's Tofu's adventure going through different dimensions, and then now Tofu has broken free and is now doing their own NFTs, right? Pixel style, influenced by the amazing MZ. After MZ and I, and through Anonymous, that's his art name, we did a collab, and that was when Tofu came to life, because Tofu came into the auction and bid on the piece that MZ laid out. And then after that, Tofu got hungry, got a whiff of that scent, chased it, and then the next week was in the auctions doing their own NFTs.
This is a very elaborate way to say you have voices in your head, but I really like it.
Dude, no. I think I'm orchestrating my own bipolar. I'm forcing myself to have bipolar. It's such a strange experience.
No, dude, it's so cool. So there's a lot to this, because part of it is I do love the character Tofu. There is the aspect to it kicks these little nostalgia feels, whether it's like the hair giving you that like Dragon Ball Z or Yu-Gi-Oh feel.
Nice.
The whole styling of it does feel cool, but it's clearly your own character, which I do. It's almost like it reminds me of Astro Kid. It's like I see where the inspiration comes from, but this is clearly its own thing.
Yeah.
And I have such a respect for that. Now, what I really like about what you're doing, and this is, again, it ties into your psychotic nature, but the fact that you're just such a great creator, and now it is cool that you're just using Tofu as another avenue to just make other cool art. So, like, we didn't know that long ago that Limit Break was a hell of a good pixel artist. I guess he still isn't, because Tofu's the great pixel artist. But
yeah, Tofu's laying it down. I'm just let's just say like I'm the medium.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is really, really cool. Because I mean, it's showcasing the talent level in both art styles, which is unbelievable.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like off the record. Let's just talk off the record. No, I know we're on the record. We're in the rabbit hole. Out of the rabbit hole right now. It scratches that itch that I always as a creative person, I always need to scratch, which is I'm obsessed and completely addicted to starting new artistic endeavors, whether that be in a meta way or in an actual learning a new style. So like I personally have always wanted to learn pixel art. Like I love it so much because that's where I come from. You know what I mean? Like that's the first video games I played and all that kind of stuff. It's so important and so powerful to me, and I never got around to doing it until TOFU. And that's just me being selfish. Like I didn't want to. I orchestrated it because I wanted to do it personally, and then it fit really well into the TOFU storyline. So
No, I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned that because I did want to bring up the idea of pixel art. Because I know it is a totally different style. It's a very different. It's almost like you got to be a different person to be able to do that kind of art.
Completely different mentality.
To see you rocking both of this is really cool, and at such a high level. Did you always have that feel to get back into the pixel art, or was it kind of seeing just the success in pixel art and what is going on in NFTs that was like, oh no, man, I can do some of this pixel stuff?
It was a combination of both. Like coming into this scene, yeah, like you said, I saw that pixel art was apparent and very, very successful. You know what I mean? Like lots of people were doing it, and lots of people were doing it well, which is the inspiring thing. And also my need and want to do it. And so coming into the space and doing Limit Break style, I got influenced by all the pixel stuff, and I was like, oh, how can I mix it into my work? Should I take on that endeavor? Should I start learning it? I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? But then I downloaded a couple of programs.
This one more conservative. I'd say that though. So below when they
Astro, mute yourself.
I forgot my train of thought. I got into it and I just wanted to do it. But you know what the true thing was? I knew I had a lot of Southern Empire stuff coming up, right? And we do. We've got a lot of work to do. And doing 3 Limit Break NFTs a week is a huge endeavor. That's almost half the week gone with work, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, how can I stay relevant within Phantom and relevant within the auctions, but not have to put in 3-4 days of work, right? Because I need those days for Southern Empire. And I was like, fuck it. I've been playing around with this TOFU meta idea. Let's put TOFU into the auctions. Let's get TOFUs to start doing NFTs. And then the TOFU character, because I'm still doing the workload, obviously, I'm the medium. The TOFU character's work takes half as much time as Limit Break's work. But now I'm getting into the animation and I'm so obsessed with it. It's now taking the same amount of time, but it doesn't matter because the silver lining is I have found a whole new lease on creativity.
I believe it, man. It's funny you mentioned the animation. Elle blows me away with her animation skills.
Dude,
so
Elle is huge.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, for me, the defining moment for her was when she just rocked that, she did the shifted animation.
Yes.
The Demon Hunter. When I just seen that pop up out of nowhere, it was like, oh, she's different. Like, this girl's built different. And then to see, I mean, I could genuinely say that the animation that she did, I think both these pieces, this TOFU that you did with the Riot Ghoul and her animation of her trying to kick your ass, or TOFU's ass, those are probably 2 of my favorite NFTs I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, wow. Hell yeah, that's amazing.
And it's just like, it's such a cool, just like natural thing that has been built out of this community. And again, it's like, I really like what you're doing here because there's these natural moments that just seem to pop out of the Phantom community. Goth Prom being one of them. We just celebrated our 2nd Goth Prom but like that's a thing. Like that naturally kind of popped up out of nowhere. What you're doing with TOFU, I generally think that I think you're opening a door for a lot of artists going forward, because I think there's a lot of artists that want to try different styles, that just want to try as many different mediums as possible, but it's hard to find the story to make it all make sense, because
that's fucking it, man. That's it.
It is, because as a collector, like some of the things that I look for in an artist is like, I kind of want you to have a style. Because if I can't really tell your style, it's hard for anybody else to. And then as a collector, there's a value aspect to stuff, obviously. So like the more people, if your styling just becomes big, well, then the pieces that I own from you are probably going to have value. So I know that there's a lot of artists currently, Uman being one of them, that struggle to find the story to create a different styling and then tie it all into the same thing. And you've just done this beautifully within you just walking into the NFT industry, basically. And then providing this avenue that I genuinely think that there's going to be a lot of artists going forward that kind of do this same idea, where it's like, no, I'm going to create metaverse me now. And then, I'll still be able to do all my art in this styling. But then, metaverse me has a whole new creative avenue. And that could even be for the musicians in this world. Like, yeah, I think you're trailblazing here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, my intentions weren't to. I never try and go into art like thinking, oh, who's going to enjoy this? Like, I want people to enjoy it. I want to enrich their lives, but I never go in going, hey, look, I'm going to be changing this industry. I'm going to be doing this. All I wanted to do is do a project for myself. Like, and as selfish as that sounds, like, I guess in a way I wanted to show people you can do extra stuff. That's actually a tough one. I don't really know subconsciously or consciously what my intentions were, but all I know is I enjoy that stuff a lot. And if someone else enjoys it, that's the job done right there. But you're exactly right. Creating your own meta character, so then you can almost be free of all these other kind of ties to your own style or the way you act or whatever and stuff like that. I still like to think myself and TOFU act with a high moral code. I don't want to piss anyone off or ruffle any feathers or anything like that. But TOFU definitely allows me to be a lot more confident and a lot more weird and get away with stuff that maybe I wouldn't as LimitBREAK, because LimitBREAK's tied to Southern Empire and tied to all these other things.
This is like touching on some like serious, like deep, conscious shit. Because I'm just having.
Nossa, mas foi bem legal, porque eu não vi o tempo.
I'm having a little realization as I sit here.
Uma hora falando,
that like,
sabe?
Even for me, this whole tinfoil realist moniker. There's the aspect that like I'm comfortable with it and like I can lean into it. The conversations that I've had literally from 9 o'clock this morning to this point have just been incredible. Some of the topics that we get into, wild shit that you like. Kyle would not go into outside and talk to somebody about that.
Cool. I see.
But tinfoil, tinfoil is this thing, and I can be tinfoil in this thing.
Yes.
There's no holding back anything. And same thing. I try to act by a decent moral code. But there is an extra, like, it's not that I'm hiding behind a screen, but there's an extra confidence to it. And I don't know if it's just that creating that identity to be able to express that stuff.
I think you're touching on something incredibly important, because let's talk about IRL. Like, in normal society, you get up and you go to the shop or you go to work or something like that. Like, in your physical space, you're restricted by a whole lot of things, because they're not necessarily good or bad, but like, you're like, oh, what's that person think of me? Oh, am I pissing them off? Oh, why is that guy looking so angry? Did he have a rough morning? Like, there's so many social constructs that decide on your personality and your attitude and the way that you approach the world. Some people are free of that, and I've got friends like that, and they live such a magical, crazy life, right?
I'm so jealous I'm so jealous of those people, because I know exactly what you're talking about, man. My fucking mind is like on just ultra radar, and it's looking at eyes, picking up on social cues. Yeah, what are you looking at me like? How are you judging me? Like every little tiny interaction is like brain just going fucking nuts.
So cultures like our modern culture's decided that that's the way we need to think on a daily basis. Like, and it's not about trying to do the right thing. It's just about being unsure, but then creating this pseudonym or being on these online personas. I feel like a few of those. Feel that weight is lifted off our shoulders. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, I can breathe a little bit easier. I can be a little bit weirder, and I can be a little bit more open. And I was actually having a conversation yesterday in one of our live art streams about this very thing, like how I realized, I don't know, X amount of years ago, that the more open I am, the more vulnerable and the more emotional and the more real I can be with people around me, whether they know me or not, the more powerful I become. And not in a power-hungry way, just a more confident way, a more relaxed in my own skin way. Because I'm like, here's all my flaws. Here's how weird I am. Here's this crazy opinion on something. And it's all fucking good. And then it lets the other person open up as well. But if we can do that in a digital sense, on that next fucking level with meta characters, or at least just your pseudonym, holy shit, man. We're becoming a better version of ourselves.
Yeah. Now, this is super interesting, because part of me while you're saying that is having the revelation of like, there's going to be the fight to not just get sucked into this. And it's something that I've been noticing for myself over the last little while. It's a hell of a lot easier for me to just come into this world, talk with all the people that I want to talk to. I like this little echo chamber, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
So there's that idea that if things do become too easy in the metaverse to just be free and all of a sudden we just take this huge just backstep in real life. Because I know personally I have, and I've had this conversation with people, even like I had a date night the other night, and I was having a conversation with her where it's like, I'm at this really weird stage in life right now where I'm living in two different realities on a daily basis. Like I'm logging in here and I'm talking to these beautiful people. I have this awesome community. The things that I say, the community understands and gets with. But then I walk out that door and it's a completely different reality. So in this metaverse world, I'm free to fucking do whatever. I'm free to say everything. I'm free to enter into all these different worlds, play any game I want, do anything. I walk out that door, I'm not allowed to go to a restaurant to sit down and have a drink. I walk down the street and I'm worried about, because I'm not wearing a mask as I walk down the street, I'm worried about how other people are looking at me because I'm not wearing a mask as I walk outside down the street. It is this really weird thing that I know that I'm going through right now. It's just figuring out I'm in that weird stage, to be honest, where it's like, well, how do I turn this, what I'm loving of everything in this digital world, into the physical, like my fucking world?
That's a very, very important thing for all of us to reflect on, because we are all in that state, and we just have gone through 2.5 years, or nearly 3 years of a global pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. Whichever way you want to look at it, something has happened, whether it be whatever your thoughts are on the subject, right? Mm-hmm. It has affected all of us.
Yep.
And so it has gotten a lot easier, and the world has forced us to go into the computer a lot more. I know I'm interacting with my friends and family a lot more on the computer. Mm-hmm. I'm interacting with this community, with brand new people like yourself who we've only met in the last couple of months, right? These are all things that are becoming the norm now. And you're right. It is. We should be fearful that we are going to get sucked in more than ever, because minute by minute, day by day, we'll just end up going, oh, sweet, all day I spent on the computer. And that's completely normal when it probably shouldn't be. I should go outside and go for a walk through the park or go for a hike or go see some friends in the real world. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to slip into that. The computer is awesome. And this community is pretty much the best thing I've ever come across in a creative endeavor ever. But only because, like, can you understand what I'm trying to say? Like I think we need that good balance, that good mix, and because the world's trying to push us towards being stay at home, look at your computer. That's it. That's all you should do. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily such great advice. We still need to be out in the real world.
Oh, it was interesting. Like even just yesterday, I went out to grab a coffee. Like I said, I honestly have been doing a lot of just this in the workstation. Not a whole lot of outside world stuff because I'm just not allowed to do a lot of outside world stuff. Can't go into places, so it's like, well, I'll go walk around outside for a little bit, but then even it's like, how much do I want to walk around outside because I'm just worried about fucking what everybody's thinking of each other and shit like that. So I know there's an aspect to me that I overthink the hell out of things too. That goes back to the ability. I'm super jealous of the people that are just carefree. They just don't give a fuck. They just walk down the street and not give a fuck. I'm so jealous of that. But no, I do think it's super interesting. And it's something that I'm kind of working through. A lot of it's going to come down to when, as soon as this border shit ends, I'm coming on a big ass road trip down through the States. I'm going to just see a bunch of homies throughout the US. And then, I think that'll be a big mental thing for me. Because the other aspect for this is, you can be my therapist for a second here. I don't do well with. I like to think that I'm most comfortable being uncomfortable. The moment I find myself in a situation where there's stability, I get really uncomfortable. And now we're 2.5 years into the lockdown, where I've actually, for the first time ever, for 2.5 years straight, I've been in the same place. I'm already at the point where it's just like, I gotta get moving. Like,
yeah, dude, you're a nomad. You're a wanderer. You're a journeyman. You're a fucking traveler, dude. Not in like, oh, I'm flying here. I'm going to Barbados or I'm going to Bali. Like, no, you're a person of the people.
I do think that is the case because it's me almost having the conversations with people I admire in this space where I'll literally, like, in the middle of the conversation be like, in my own head, like, I'm like, you're my fucking spirit animal. A guy like Jack Schur, we just launched the Dead Family. That concept to me is just mind blowing. The idea of traveling around with a fucking band and all of its fans for decades, just selling art and doing all this shit like that, it blows me away. It just fires me up so much. A guy like Bush Doctor, who just moves around the world constantly. And a guy that, doesn't give a fuck about the rules either. He's just doing his thing, whether this government agrees or this government agrees. I don't care. I agree with this. There's people like that I truly admire in this space and that I look up to. And I think you're right. I think the route that I end up going is like a tinfoil road show, where this just moves.
Tinfoil road show.
This just moves around the world, and we just do what we're doing. We're just having awesome conversations and trying to make cool shit and inspire cool shit, but we just try to do it moving around. And I think part of that goes into like my spiritual creativity. I can only imagine that, like, it's hard to drum up a ton of creativity and this pizzazz, in front of the same desks, same screens every day. Following the same. I go to get coffee at this time of day. I'm back in front of my desk at this time.
Yeah. Hey, look, at least you're thinking about it, man. At least you think about it and talking about it. And you have a platform to discuss this with other people and get different opinions and share it with the people who need to hear it. Because, man, like, even you got me thinking right now. I'm like, okay, cool. No, I've been I've been basically in this NFT space. I haven't done anything but work, and a lot of that's in front of screens like the iPad or the computer or whatever else, my phone. And so even now, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to go for a huge ass fucking walk today. My wife just got back. She was away for the weekend. I'm going to get in the car. We're going to go drive somewhere. We're going to see some nature. I'm going to, scrunch some leaves in my fucking hand. And because that's the stuff, like, I can sit here in front of a computer and I can create crazy things, but all I'm doing is creating crazy things from my memories, from the things in the past. I can't create new things, only things that are recycled and combined from the past. I need to go out and create new experiences, meet someone weird. Man, I meet weird people all the fucking time, and for some reason, they are drawn to me. An old man will just walk up to me and be like, hey, I'm crazy as fuck and I'm into mangoes. Do you want to know everything about how I cultivate mangoes? I'm like, bro, lay it on me. Let's go. I'm an expert in growing mangoes. Like, I'm sure you have that same experience as well. People just gravitate towards you because they're like, this guy's weird. I'm into weird shit. He's into weird shit. Let's share.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's so interesting because, like, I watched this video the other day. This girl actually sent me a video the other day. Dude, I bawled my fucking eyes out like a little girl. It was a video by Aubrey Marcus. It's called, like, the Find Your Tribe. It is so fucking good. It is so good, but it's all about just the idea of, like, you know, there's always this group of us. It's always a smaller group of people on the earth, but there's always this group of people on the earth that are just meant to do different things. That are just meant to keep things in check. And those people go through the hardest times. You get down to your lowest lows, your loneliest times. But then it's these moments where, call it a God complex, whatever you want to believe in, but something comes and, like, offers this ability for these people to connect. And to me, that's what this industry is. I think we all, there's a war going on right now.
Yeah.
And I think we can all sit back and go, like, this is fucking nuts. Everybody in the world is stepping back going, like, what the fuck is going on? And to me, it just feels like, the shitty forces have been in control for so long. And now, like, a tool like the internet, the empowerment of the internet that it has done for the people over power structures has been incredible. There's part of that concept of, like, even just the creation of the internet, like, you get into the conspiracy, the tinfoil aspect of it. The internet is a DARPA project. So that's, one of the black military companies. So they create DARPA, DARPA creates the internet. Internet just kind of gets away from them. You don't really realize like how big this thing gets. And all of a sudden, people around the world are sharing information with each other. And now these power structures, like, they can't just do what they want to do because of the free flow of information. Now you have the money kick in. So they've been able to control the money system for so long that you have, like, Bitcoin come out. And then now it's like the thing that you would build your whole society on, the unit of exchange, that comes to light. And, it being built off the financial collapse, all of that stuff. Now with NFTs, like, it feels like this is the chance for all of us. And in crypto, everybody in crypto is like an open-minded person. You can't be in crypto. You have to be an open mind to go, like, the money system's kind of fucked for me to, like, buy this magic internet money.
Yeah, true.
So, like, you have to be kind of open-minded. So now that we're just all of these open-minded people around the world are communicating together on a daily basis through art, through these conversations. This is where it feels like that Find Your Tribe. Like, this is the kind of shit where it's like, we are going to erase these weird ass borders one day. Like, the world is going to be different at some point. And it feels like this is the kind of technology, the Find Your Tribe, that it just feels like this is the moment for that. And to get even weirder, like, the timing of it all, like, I don't know if you're into astrology and shit like that, but the age of Aquarius, being the age of enlightenment, and just all of it is just, it just feels like such a beautiful time. It feels like such a dark time for humanity, but it's that little bit of darkness that you had to go through for the, to find the light on the other side of it.
Well, we know that is a true fact. Like, there is not one person in this space or on this fucking planet that didn't grow from darkness, that didn't grow from struggle or hardship or heartbreak or anything like that. And I speak from personal experience. I won't go into it, but like, man, there was some hard fucking years, dude. There was some hard years. And when I was in those years, all I wanted to do was go away. And I'm not talking like go away to a fucking desert island or anything. I just wanted to disappear. I didn't like this reality whatsoever. But it's almost like I forced myself into this negative space because I knew it was how you get stronger, how you become more you, how you become more confident, and how you rid yourself of all those ties to the things that are holding you fucking down, man. Like, I don't really know what to attribute it to, but all in all, those dark, crazy, chaotic fucking years, they made me happier, healthier, and more confident. And I think that reflects on all the relationships I've made since those years. You know what I mean? I feel like I can connect with people a lot better, and I have more empathy. I have a lot more time, you know what I mean, for certain things in my life. Like, I'm still a very impatient person. I still like to get things done as fast as possible. But the experience from having a lot of darkness, I've come out, man, stronger, and I can experience more light because of the darkness. And I've said it before, a good way to describe it to people is, for some people throughout their entire lives, right, they've got a keyboard in front of them, not a computer keyboard, like I mean like a piano, right? They're playing with the keys right in front of them. They've got this nice medium life, not too high, not too low. They're comfortable there. It's easy to exist in that space, but they never really get to experience those spectacular highs where you start seeing fucking, the real answers to the universe. And they don't get to have the lows where they want to not exist, right? You can't have the highs without the lows. Like, it's the spectrum is like a fucking seesaw. You can't just be always up. So a lot of people play with the keys in the middle of the keyboard, and that's fine. I know a lot of people who are very successful and very happy just by playing on those middle keys. But then I have my people, my tribe, like you just said, where they play with all the keys on the keyboard. They're not afraid to be dark, and they're not afraid to be light. And man, I have some moments in my life where I'm so ecstatic, I'm so excited, and I'm so pumped up, more than any drug has ever fucking given me when I had my party phase. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is purely just off positive thought, and you see the glimpse, you see the answers to the universe, even if it's just for a fragment of time. It's that beautiful moment of going, oh, enlightenment. But it's only for a second. It's only for a split second, and that's worth it. That's worth it for your entire life. But I forget the original topic we were talking about. But I think those are the people that I'm finding. You know what I mean? Like, and in this space particularly, NFTs, crypto, Phantom, like, you know what I mean? Like, those, I've said it in other AMAs before. I feel like I was alone in this world. I had a few people to, like, my brother Scepter, right? I had a few people to relate to where I go, this dude's as weird as I am, and in a different way, and it's beautiful, and we're all out there exploring the weirdness together. Come back, share, evolve from that. I have my people, but I never really found an entire community of those people. And I'm not talking about always doing acid trips and shit like that all the time. I'm talking about just the mentality of it. Coming into Phantom and meeting all these spectacular creative people, and all these people who, like you said, are finding their tribe, and they're open, and they're willing, and they're positive, and they're optimistic. I came in here going, okay, cool, like, it's going to be another art endeavor, and I might make a few friends, and we might talk about video games or whatever. I don't really know. But I've come in and I'm like, holy fuck. I've found people who are like me down to the very fucking core. People who work 24/7, not for the fancies, but to create a meta character just for the sake of it, so I can show other people you can do this as well. You don't have to look at NFTs as just being JPEGs. That's a really cool element of them, but they don't have to be JPEGs. They could include music, and they can include this, and they can include that. And you can collab with yourself from the past, and you can collab with yourself from the future, and you can collab with yourself from another fucking dimension. You can create this meta world where you break down the rules of the normal reality. And I think that's really important because that's how we're going to get our best ideas, man.
Yeah, that is super interesting. I mean, you bring up the idea like, yeah, it's almost like, with you collaborating with your meta character, it's like you can tap into anything. You can like tap into any imagination that the meta character could dream up, but then you can also tap into all your previous experiences. That's super. The creative avenue that creating a character like a TOFU that it opens you up to, like we talked about earlier. I think this strategy is going to be used by a lot of artists going forward, which I mean is. I think 10 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I started a crazy trend. All right, let's get into some of my fun questions. I want to know what fills your gut a little bit. So I want to know your like favorite, like a Sunday night, like a Wednesday night or a Sunday night at home, home cooked meal. And then like your Friday, Saturday night, I'm going out and grabbing something to eat.
Oh, I love food, man. And I love that you're asking these questions. These questions are just as important as the universal questions, the meta questions as well, by the way.
100%, exactly.
Okay, so you want a chill meal and you want an elegant meal, right?
Yeah, I want the home cooked meal, and then I want the going out with the wifey to grab something to eat.
All right. In my classic fashion, I'm going to over-explain things, right? So the home cooked meal is like, don't get me wrong, I love cooking, and my wife and I, we share the cooking like 50-50, day on, day off.
Oh yeah.
I love having a whole full day of work. Even if it's slightly stressful, work, haven't really eaten all day, just a couple of might just quickly eat an apple or, try and get a little bit of lunch or something. So I'm working my ass off and it's cold outside. So maybe it's winter and I've had to run a lot of errands and I'm haven't even thought about food. And then I'm sitting upstairs, the computer's on, I'm doing my last thing of the day and I go, oh, what do I smell? And my wife and I, we eat vegan. Plant-based, and I can smell like roast vegetables cooking. And I'm talking like slow and low roast vegetables with like a vegan roast or a vegan meat substitute of some description, right? Call it unhealthy if you want, but it doesn't matter to me. And I can smell that cooking, and you can smell like the rosemary and thyme and all these different kind of like herbs and stuff around like the potatoes and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, dude. If I smell that after a long, hard day at work where I haven't thought about food and then just realized I'm hungry, go downstairs, we sit there. I like to sit with low light, not too bright. I hate bright light.
So there's a whole mood to this. I like this.
There's a whole mood to this. And then we sit down and we eat it. And I eat it with plenty of salt.
All right. Hey, salt's good for you.
But yeah. Roast veggies, yeah. But salt's good for you. I drink a lot of water, so I stay hydrated, so it works out well. Yeah, and then the more gnarly one, the more elegant one. We've gone to a couple of vegan degustation restaurants recently, which have been really nice. There's this one in the city called Maha, and it's like elegant degustation.
What's a degustation?
Degustation, so it's where they take, like, say if you have like a whole meal, you go to a pub and you get like a meal and it's got all the elements. They take all those elements, they break them apart into simpler forms, and they serve them individually.
Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, cool.
So it's like a refined version of a meal, but in a smaller palette, so you can have 4 or 5 of them, right, and not get super full. So yeah, there's this restaurant, and they it's like Middle Eastern inspired degustation vegan food, and holy fuck, dude, it is so good. So you have like your baba ganoush, and you have your hummus, and you have your breads, and you have your they have like these like vine wrapped kind of rice fucking somethings. I'm really bad with words, I apologize. But yeah, like Middle Eastern food is huge.
You got me with the baba ganoush.
Wow, so good. So yeah, that's it. That's my fancy meal.
All right. Are you a drinker? If so, what's the go-to drink of choice?
Ooh, I am not a drinker, but I have drunk a lot in my past, and I do enjoy I do enjoy, like, I don't want to sound like fancy or anything, but I do enjoy like a good whiskey. I don't know much
Nice.
about it,
Yep.
but like Japanese whiskeys have always been really, really
Oh,
tasty.
okay.
One, apparently I got told two cubes of ice is blasphemy. 1 cube of ice if you have to. But
Yeah.
what's this brand? I've got one behind me actually. This one's been really good.
A Japanese whiskey. I don't think I've ever tried one.
This one is Iwai, Iwai. It's really nice. It's really, really fucking nice.
IWAI?
Iwai,
Okay.
Iwai. And there's a couple of other ones. I think there's Yabiki. Anyway, the Japanese go crazy about whiskey. There was one story, I'll quickly tell it. They transported a Scottish whiskey distillery brick by brick to Japan. They used the same fucking bricks that were in the wall.
Holy shit.
Mm.
Jesus.
Yeah, they take that shit seriously.
I don't get.
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's some wild shit. We've got a mosque actually just outside of Toronto, where all the materials are from India, and like the details in this thing are just wildly insane. And the whole building process, you're like, how the fuck are they doing this? The amount of money to ship over all this stuff. God damn.
But it's beautiful, man. Like the sentiment is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's the effort you want to go to for something you care about. I think that speaks volumes. You know?
We'll be getting onto this topic, but let's get into aliens.
Oh yes,
yes,
100%
or
real.
yeah, okay. What
100%
level?
real.
What level are you at? Are they just existing somewhere else? Are they potentially here? Have they been here before? Where are you at with the aliens?
Look, I'm in 2 boats. One boat is more logical. Like, hold on, let's not say logical. It's a bad word to use. One boat is a little bit more reserved. So one boat is, no, I don't think they've come to Earth yet. It is absolutely insane to believe that aliens don't exist somewhere out there, because look how fucking crazy and huge the universe is, and we're expanding and growing at a crazy rate as well. So definitely 100% chance there's aliens. There's us, so we are the aliens to other aliens. Right. So that's a beginning. And the other boat, though, the crazy boat, the intense boat, the more fun boat is, aliens have come here. Like, of course, we're either part of some sort of like test, like some hybrid where they kind of like, like Prometheus, like aliens, where they came down and mixed their stuff with Earth stuff. And
that is the story of the Sumerians. I mean, that's basically the stories they tell. That's the story of the Anunnaki coming down, and and basically it's a bit of an experiment. And here we are. And whether or not if it's an experiment or if it's just by chance, like it's still fucking amazing to think about, and it's still just as powerful. But I know there's a lot of things around the planet that you're like, oh, aliens built this, or these people worship these things that basically are aliens. They say spaceships and stuff like that. It's hard because I can exist in that world and feel completely comfortable, but I have no personal experience with its reality, so I cannot trust it 100%. Nope, totally fair. All right, let's get into pyramids. What is to you the most reasonable theory to who built the pyramids? So basically, like, are we talking aliens? Are we talking slave class? Were humans more advanced?
I hate to steal your last guest's theory, but before he said it, that was my theory as well. They're built off faith. They're built off the most power you can get from a human being is from them believing in something. And if they believed in something and they thought building the pyramids were going to get them closer to that, or at least appease it, that is more powerful than fucking anything else on this planet. So I truly believe it was a very, very large group of people who all believed in a common theme, who wanted to get the work done, and they worked for fucking generations to get that fucking done.
Yeah, it's so fucking interesting, man. Like, when I think about moments in human history that I wish could have been changed, as many as there's been fucking horrendous ones that have killed people, and I honestly think that mine would be the burning down of the Library of Alexandria. If that could have just not happened,
dude, knowledge, and stopping that knowledge from being shared. That's fucked up.
That is crazy. Like that is literally like the Empire erased human history.
Yeah. Extremely unfortunate.
Yeah, super fucking interesting. All right.
Can I just say though, on the pyramid thing, no offense against anyone and their own theories about how pyramids were made, but I kind of feel like it's almost painful to say that humans didn't do it and aliens did do it, because then it takes away from human power. Mm-hmm. And I think we have such incredible power within us to create things like that. Sorry, my neighbor's got a chainsaw.
There's just some wild aspects to it. It's like the details of it, the fucking size of the stones, the idea that like you couldn't even fit a fucking piece of paper through like in between stones, like it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's so funny. And this is kind of where I level with the Bitcoin guys, because I think a lot of it comes down to like this money, the broken money, because like the way we build shit today, I'm coming from carpenter mason, like shit just gets built today to last a day past the mortgage. Because the money system is so broke. It's just about getting in as much money as possible, spending it as fast as possible, building things as quick as possible, and it's just this whole cycle of just everything's fast, and cheap.
Yep.
Whereas when we had the time, when time preference wasn't a big deal because the money would hold value forever. I think there's an aspect to that's why we got away from like building crazy cathedrals and stuff like that.
It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one.
Because even like
I'm loving that you're asking that question, bro.
I'm in a 100-year-old house, and like it's so cool for me growing up in the trades, like just doing stick framing where you're just pieces together, a bunch of nails. I go into the basement and like there isn't a fucking nail in this house. Every big ass wood beam is just like perfectly cut to notch together, and like the whole thing is just engineered to just fit in pieces together perfectly without the use of nails and screws.
That's beautiful, dude. Oh, that must be inspiring in itself just to see that.
Well, it is. Because it's just like, I wouldn't fucking do that nowadays. That would cost way too much money or like take way too much time. You know what I mean?
Wow. Hell yeah.
Psychedelics. Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
If so, let's get into, I want a scary experience if you got one, and then just a nice blissful experience.
Ooh, blissful, I'll go first, right? Blissful was actually the first time I did acid. It was spectacular. We dropped it, me and 3 other friends, we dropped it at midday. It was a beautiful sunny day, and we dropped it at a friend's house who lived next to a botanical garden. So we went and walked through the gardens, took acid. It was fucking spectacular. So we were just like in nature, and I could see oranges breathe, and I connected with trees straight away. And I know that's a very common theme. Like I'd go up and touch trees and I'm like, yo, you're my granddad. Like this is fucking, this like, I felt so connected, dude. So fucking connected to the planet and the earth. And I'm definitely someone who lives inside their head a little bit too much. And I took acid and I was living in the moment for the real first time in my life. I was in that fucking moment, man. Nature and all those kind of things. And so it was with 3 beautiful, spectacular friends, and I won't name them. They might be in this chat or not. I don't know. But we all helped each other, and we all had a good time, and we felt crazy, and I absolutely loved it. And I'll remember that for the rest of my days. I can almost feel the sun on my skin right now. We ate chestnuts that we found like on a tree and shit. Fed them to each other, bro. It was fucking wild.
Love it.
A bad trip was I once took a hallucinogen. I don't know if you've heard of it, called 2CB. Obviously it's like a manufactured one. It's a synthetic one rather than being natural. I've taken mushrooms and stuff, had great trips on those, but 2CB was hard, man. So I think I took too much, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I had this crazy out of body experience where everything was overwhelming, and I had to say to my friend who also took it, I was like, bro, we got to get out of this. We were in a party, and it was the middle of the night, and so we found a bathroom downstairs, and I literally had to turn off the lights, be in the bathroom, no noise, no sound. No sound, no lights, no nothing, and I laid in the bathroom for like 3 hours in this bathtub, just getting over the high.
Yeah.
But then the come down was quite nice, and we went out to the party and we smoked some weed and
nice.
had a good time with some good people. But that was hard, man. It was like the biggest physical effect I've ever had from a hallucinogen.
Those are scary ones. I can't say I've done any of the synthetic stuff. I haven't even done acid. I've just done mushrooms. I've done mushrooms and DMT so far.
I apologize that I didn't talk about mushrooms, because actually they had some mushroom trips, man, that were spectacular. And again, like, you're just euphoric. And I feel like the friends I was around at the time, still around them now, but the friends I did all those things with, they are the make or break of any situation.
Yeah, that's a set and setting, right? That's the biggest thing with psychedelics, is what they say is set and setting. You set yourself up in a bad situation, and you're probably going to go through a bad trip.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Mythological creatures. Bigfoot, Chupacabra, Loch Ness Monster. To you, which one would have the best chance of potentially being real?
I'm going to say Chupacabra, man. I'm going to say Chupacabra because the size, like Chupacabra, don't get me, like, it's like the size of what? Like a dog?
Yeah, that's what I get. Maybe a big dog.
Yeah, like a big dog. Like, so the physical limitations of like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, like, for creatures like that to exist and not get seen that often, I feel like maybe it's not so real, you know, especially Loch Ness Monster, man. I'm like, bro, if there's a fucking dinosaur looking dude hanging out in that lake, you'd see it.
Yeah.
I'd be in a boat, I'd be searching for that shit using radar and stuff. But Chupacabra, I feel like, can be easily mistaken for something else, but can be its own breed of thing, getting up to whatever it gets up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's super weird. I've watched a couple things on the Chupacabra where they find those cows and shit that are basically like drained of blood, and you're like, what the fuck would do that? Like, it'd be weird for a human to even try to do that.
Oh, dude, yeah.
All right,
it's funny how the first thing you go.
My final question for you, sir. I need to be educated by you a little bit. So I need one of your favorite artists. Could be NFT, could not be NFT. I need an artist and musician to start.
All right, I'm answering now. Okay, cool. Artist Joe Madureira. He's a comic book artist.
You're gonna have to type that one in the chat.
Joe Mad. If you just search Joe Mad.
Joe Mad.
Joe Mad, yeah.
Oh, Joe Mad.
So he signs off just MAD. So he's an amazing fusion of Japanese anime, manga inspired, and American comic books. Like, I feel like it definitely leans a lot more towards American comic books, but he mastered that style and paved the way for a lot of artists. And that's definitely where myself and even Scepter take a lot of inspiration. Scepter actually introduced me to a bunch of Joe Mad's work. Yeah. I found him originally through comic books when I was a kid, but spectacular stuff. And musician is The Algorithm, which is a French solo act who does fucking crazy, chaotic, like, mixture of styles, like a lot of metal influence, a lot of like EDM, really, really fucking cool things. Why? Can I ask why? Are you researching these?
Yeah, I'm just educating myself. Yeah, so I'm
taking. Dude, that's fucking.
I got a list of. It's the idea, like, we have to talk about people around the world, right? And like, I know the media that I get in Canada and the US, but like, I've just hanging out in your guys' Southern Empire Discord, listening to some of that grime that was popping off from the Hydrobot. Like, I'm really into some stuff. So that's it was actually listening to your guys' Hydrobot that kind of inspired me for the music question.
Oh, dude, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, check out The Algorithm. A very vast, different amount of music, different styles and stuff. But my favorite album's called Reboot. Really, really fucking good shit, man. Like, if you want to get crazy, you want to pump yourself up, listen to that shit.
All right. Okay, well, now what I need an independent content creator. This could be a Twitter account, a YouTuber, TikToker, but an independent content creator.
Okay, cool. I forget their name because it's foreign and it's very hard for me to remember because I am not that smart. If I can't choose... Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so it's an Instagram account. I don't know if they have Twitter or not, but it is capital I, dot FA dot capital I capital Y capital Y.
Okay.
I could.
You want to drop the link? You got a link in here?
Yeah, I'll do the link. And yeah, this dude's tiny, but you'll see why I like him so much. Does spectacular kind of street art inspired sculpture. Really, really odd. Really, really fucking cool, dude. All right, where's the AMA text chat? Yep, there you go.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, next I need a movie, a TV show, and a book.
Ooh, a movie. Okay, I'm gonna force you to watch this movie. It's called Southland Tales. So Southland Tales.
Okay.
It's the movie that the director from Donnie Darko made after Donnie Darko. So he got a lot of money from the secondary sales of Donnie Darko after it got its cult following, and then he made this movie called Southland Tales, which is basically Donnie Darko on crack with really, really amazing B-grade celebrities.
Oh.
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
like The Rock's in it, Justin Timberlake's in it,
Wow.
Buffy, what's her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar, Stifler from the American Pie movies,
Yeah.
he's in it as well. Dude, it is fucking wild. I'm going to watch it again sometime.
I've never heard of that. No, wow.
Yeah, no one's heard of it. I've never met one person who likes the movie except for myself. It looks like E.T. Power likes it as well. Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry, and what was the other things?
A TV show and a book.
Oh, TV show? Guy, I've been talking to Guy about it. Is Raised by Wolves. It's a new sci-fi. It's just finished its second season. New sci-fi TV show, written by oh my god, how can I forget his name? The dude who did Aliens. Someone help me out in chat. Everyone likes Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, I'm seeing Raised by Wolves. Big fan. Big fan.
Ridley Scott.
Oh, okay.
So he directed a bunch of the first episodes and stuff like that. And what was the last thing? TV show and
Book.
Book.
What are you reading?
Have you read Atomic Habits?
No.
Read Atomic Habits. That's a really good. Like, not to get into all the self-help shit or anything like that. It's just a really good structure to build your life around as far as completing the things you want to complete.
Good.
There you go. Andre just read Atomic Habits.
I was going to say that's something I need. Yeah, I'm trying to get a book done a week. I'm going to try to get a book done this a week. Depending on the book, but there's something
that's huge. Good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to just imitate people that are fucking super successful and what they do. You know, it's a lot of it's a lot of running.
I don't
want to burst
don't want to burst your bubble, dude. But you are super successful.
We're getting there. We won't say yet. We're getting there.
You're talking to spectacular people, and you're like I said, you have this magnetic ability about you that draws people like me to you.
I appreciate that big time. I generally think just authenticity goes a long way in this world, and I really do believe that that's all it comes down to. As long as you're an authentic person, people will vibe with you. But it's very easy to tell when you're not authentic. So, I think that's all it comes down to for me. But everybody in this fucking industry, dude, is just incredible human beings. Like, I just love doing this because I feel like a monkey in this space, and it's just trying to retain the information from all these geniuses and creators. But it's just fun because this is kind of like how I've just since the whole since college, me diving down the war rabbit holes and basically that was a life change since that point because that's when I got into politics.
Yep.
And everything up to this point has been very much like a step back and like observe. I need to observe what is the culture doing? What is the media doing? What is the money doing? What is the war machine doing? Like you have to look at all these things in subsets. And now that's basically all I feel like I'm doing now. It's just kind of in this industry where it's just like I get to have these conversations and then step back and go, all right, what is going on with these artists? What is going on on this chain? And where these people think they can take the tech? like this morning, I had a conversation with an author who, like, I'm just so inspired by kind of what he came to me with in terms of like this create your own adventure, and being able to tie in other projects with it. And like, it's just this beautiful new avenue where now it's like I can just take that little subset from an hour-long conversation, and now any artist, I feel like I could, any fucking author, I would love to just sit down and brainstorm shit with now. Where it's like, no, the NFTs can absolutely be an avenue, and it should be an avenue. Let's start fucking sitting down brainstorming stuff. So to me, it's just super fun.
I think that's important for us to recognize, and especially all the creators in the channel right now, and all the creators who are going to hear this chat. Right, it's important for them to realize that they're not following what the people who did before them are doing, because there's only 6 months of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What we're doing right now is we're creating the new things. We're forging that path. We're creating the path in front of us whilst we walk it. And once you learn that, you start creating amazing things that never were before. And I think it's really important, because this is where the foundations are being laid. Lay them as wide and as strong and as powerful as humanly possible, so the people who stand on our shoulders can build high.
No, you're absolutely right. You're doing it all the right ways, bringing in all your physical merch. We didn't even get into the Southern Empire today, but good thing I'll be coming into.
That's fine.
I'll be coming into your chat soon. We'll continue doing these.
I want you to come into our chat, and I don't want you once to talk about Southern Empire. I want you to talk about tinfoil.
All right.
Whoever you want or think, or like, I want all of it. I want sorry, I forgot your real name. I want
Kyle.
Your real name. Kyle. I want Kyle. I want Tin. I want whoever you want to be on that day. You know what I mean? But you can talk about Southern Empire. That's fine. But we'll have another one, man. For sure.
Absolutely, dude. Really appreciate you coming in here. I love what you're doing, man. And like you said, I love that mentality, because already you've clued in. There's only 6 months of history. Why would I try to follow the 6 months of history? This idea of you bringing in your physical merch into all of this, I think, this is, you're building a massive brand here. That's going to be unbelievably successful. I can't wait to see what you and Septa end up doing together.
Thank you so much, man. Can I just touch on that? Like, Septa, we all love that dude, and I'm honored to be able to do this with him. And not just because he's a spectacular artist, but because he's one of my best friends from my entire life, man. Like, it's really special. Like, these opportunities don't come up often, and I think we both jumped on it because this may be our first and only chance. You know what I mean? So big ups to Septa, and big ups to everyone in the Southern Empire Discord as well, and part of our community. We are being floored by the support and the kindness. Like, every day I jump in there, someone's streaming, we're hanging out. It's a good fucking time, man.
No, love it. Love what you guys are doing. I can't wait to see what you guys keep creating. And just in general, the little empire that is fucking popping up from down there. Because even that artist that author I was talking to this morning, he's an Aussie guy. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the day that I get to come down that way. Because whenever there's a physical in real life event in that corner of the globe, the Phantom family will be strong over there.
Dude, yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm waiting for that day. And by that time, I'll be back home in Aotearoa, New Zealand. When that day comes, I'm flying straight back. Me, teens, fucking Term, everyone, all these Aussie fucking creators. Dude, I'm fucking there, dude. You just wait. I'm gonna give you the strongest, craziest fucking hug you've ever had in your life.
Fuck yeah! All right, Limit Break. Love you, dude. Appreciate you coming in here.
Love you too. Thank you, man. Big love, bro. Big love to everyone in your community as well. They're great people.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, peace, man. Have a
Okay, amigos. So we got. I'm gonna take a little break here for a second. Go get a dart in me, and then at about 25 minutes, we are rocking into. Or no, actually, we got 38 minutes. We got a 38-minute break. I'm gonna get some. I'll get some dinner in me then. But at 5:45, we will. Go drink some water. Yeah, I'll be going to get some water. Yeah, we'll be doing Phantom Heroes coming in here, 5:45. So we got about a 40-minute break, and then we'll be going. Limit, I